Namaste, namaste, namaste. Hello all. How are you today? Give me a second. I hope you're having or have had a good day. I hope today was very eventful for you. I hope you were able to check your inner narrative to make sure that you control your beast, okay? Let me ring my bell because I have some important information. I'm just clearing the energy. I've been here working on my own energy. I have, like, my dreams show me about, like, my day. What am I going to experience, how to handle them. Even when I'm, like, interacting with others, my dreams always give me the information that I need. And so, hello to my new subscribers, okay? Hello. Thank you all for subscribing. I wanted to introduce myself, just in case, I have lipstick on my fingers, just in case you all, haven't looked at the other videos. And so, welcome to my channel. This is a safe space for you. The meaning of this channel is in the name, Alchemy with Phoenix. I'm a life path 33. And I do a lot of healing. I don't want to call it healing. Integration is what I teach. And well, it's not something that I teach. It's just something that the celestial, wow, you guys are coming through so clear. The celestial realm provides me with this information. A lot of my angels, ancestors, the Most High, the Holy Spirit, Divine Mother, wherever, those higher dimensional beings, they send me ways to help me release things for me. I always had a infinity, is what they're telling me. Wow, I've always had a communication with spirit, even as a child. It was always just magical. I don't know why. It just was something that I was. A lot of, magical experiences, the same that I have right now. Yeah, memories go far back, like 3 years old. And I'm saying this to confirm you. So if you ever had those magical to where the world seemed to slow down, and you were just like, you felt like you were in a different dimension, that was a phenomenon, okay? It's like everything gets quiet around you, and you're just interacting with the energy that is in that space. And the way, whoa, it is showing you, it is showing you in your third eye, in your crown chakra, it is showing you what it looks like. So it can often be in a way to where it feels like you are dreaming awake, or you are under some type of hypnosis or a spell. It's like you're in a world within a world. That's what it's just crazy how they're coming through and how they're describing the energy. And I didn't even have to really, yeah, excuse me. I'm trying to see what Raven doing. She been just doing all kind of stuff. She does that when I have, like, spirits around me. They always around me, but I'm confirming you, okay? So how they're explaining it to me, how it's like everything's go quiet and you're just interacting with spirit, and how they take control over you and you see something completely different. That has been happening to me my whole entire life. I'll give you a recent, well, Yeah, I can give you a recent example, but this one was better, was way cooler. Okay, when I was about like 5, 6 years ago, I was sitting on the couch. I had just got done cleaning up, and I was sitting on the couch, and I just was sitting down, like admiring how good I cleaned my space. And while I was cleaning, my mind's eye, I saw my front door open. And I was like, wait a minute, why my front door shouldn't be open? My son is at school. There's nobody in his house but me. Like, what the heck? So I go by the door and I look at the door and it's locked. And I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck is happening. I'm so confused. Hello, 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 hello. And so I'm speaking to another entity, energy. I don't want to call it entity. Energy that's just came into my awareness. It's a leprechaun. Okay, I don't know how else to say that. Call me what the fuck you want. You won't call me a fucking liar. That's your projection. You keep it with yourself. And so I was just sitting, like, I saw that and I'm like, the door closed, and I go and check the back door. The back door is locked. So I don't know, I was sitting there and I wound up closing my eyes. But right before that, I started seeing orbs in my house. And so the orbs just were coming, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, I already know what they are and things like that. And so I'm just like sitting there, close my eyes, and then my mind's eye, I see a little green person, and he just walked towards me, and I opened my eyes and I was like, what the fuck is that? And so I'm looking, my eyes open, and I see it again, but this time it flashed in my mind's eye. And so I was like, oh, hello. And so it's just, I closed my eyes again, you know, just to like kind of just like clear my head or whatever. And I see it climb up the couch. It was like disappearing and reappearing. It climbed up the couch and it looked at me, and it climbed on my lap. And it looked at me and I looked at him. And then it was just looking at me like, you can see me? And I was just like, whoa, holy shit, like, hello. But the way that I saw it like if I had one eye. I don't know how else to say that. So if I had one individual eye, that's how I saw this being. Because I seen it looking in my one eye. And it was like this, looking at me like, whoa, you can see me? And then it kept looking back to see if I saw it. And I was like, hello, like, I see you. And then ever since, it showed me like its little fairy wings. It showed me its hand. It did like this to me and showed me its little green fingers. It only had like 4 of them, but he showed them to me. And he showed me his 2 big eyes and his green skin, and it was like a pastel green, this color green. It was this color green. And he showed me it, and I was like, oh, you're so cute. Like, and he showed me his little wings and stuff, and his little toes. He was just like showing out, and I just laughed, and then I didn't see it anymore. And so a friend of mine asked me to go to the casino with them. This was like about 3 days later, St. Patrick's Day. This is almost going to be St. Patrick's Day. That's why they gave me that feeling, right? Oh my gosh. That's why I said hello to the leprechaun. And so it gave me that feeling. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, it was the leprechaun that helped me with this. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And this is what I want to talk to you all about. I'm going to talk to you about in a minute, okay? Let me finish telling the story because this is for confirmation for someone, okay? And so I went to the casino, and I hadn't realized it was St. Patrick's Day. But there were like a whole bunch of people dressed in green and things like that. And I was just in my own world. I was in a world within a world. My vibrational frequency was just out of this fucking world. And the things that I was seeing was insane. I couldn't even like tell them to people. I did. People was like, this bitch is crazy as fuck. Yeah, and so I saw leprechauns, and this one particular leprechaun kept following me around the casino. Now, I don't even gamble, but that day I had played. A friend gave me some money to play, and I played, and I think I won like $1,000. I like to play, like I play like online poker, and so I found a poker table and I played, and yeah, I won $1,000. And so I went to the bar and I wanted to get me a Long Island iced tea. And I looked over to the side of me, things start going into slow motion. And there was a man. This man looked like Jesus Christ, Ascended Master Yeshua. He looked like him. And look, let me tell a story. And I heard him say, drink some water. I ordered a Long Island iced tea, and he said, and some water. And I looked over, and then he looked at me and smiled and held up his glass of water. A man did. Now, he was like 5 people away from me, but I heard him inside of me, right? I heard it within me. And I was just like, and I told the bartender, I said, let me get a glass of water too. Now, I haven't, like, I don't drink like I used to. I was in the Navy, so of course I was a goddamn sailor for drink like a motherfucker. But I haven't, since my son had passed away. He was 17. He was murdered. And so I stopped, like kind of stopped drinking, but then I'll start back and then I'll stop. But this particular time, I just had stopped completely. And so I had got a Long Island iced tea and some water. But it was just, I'm trying to explain to you the flow of it. It is very magical. It is very slow motion. I don't know how else to say that. That's just what it's like. It's very slow motion. And so right after that, like we went home, and after I watched the band play, because there was a band there, and I love live music. It's so amazing to me, live music. And so I was just like giddy about that and everything. And so I wound up going home and drop me off. I go in the house, turn on the light, and no shit, I see a fucking leprechaun standing in my dining room. And I said, okay, now I just seen a goddamn fairy, a sprite. No, it was a fairy a few days ago. Now here go the damn leprechaun. And I didn't say anything. I just let it be. And that weekend, I think this was like a Tuesday or something, and that weekend my grandchildren came over. And I don't talk to them about spirituality. They're not ready yet. They're young. My grandson is 7. My granddaughter is, I think she just made, my grandson is 8. I think my granddaughter is 5. She just made 5. And then my daughter-in-law, 2 sons. One of them is 11 and the other one is like 7. And so back then they were younger than that. So I never disclosed any of that stuff to them. And so I had this back room, this plant room. And when they're not there, I put my plants in there because that's where the sun is. And when they come on the weekends, I clear everything out so they can play in there and they can sleep in there. And so he come running out the back room, Grandma, there's a leprechaun in that room. There's a leprechaun in that room. And I was like, oh, shit. And I said, it's okay. Like, he's like, I'm not scared of it, but it's just a real leprechaun. Yeah, I know. Like kids, like they see the things that we see, right? And so that's what I wanted, you know, the leprechaun. Gosh damn. Wanted to, like, I guess if you are seeing this energy, okay. But what they're trying to say is, it is an energy. Oh my God, this is new to me, okay? It is an energy. And the way they take control, how you can interpret them, okay? You interpret them according to how you were raised up, right? So that's how your memory, your nervous system, right? because they speak through your nervous system. They speak through you, right? It's like they send the energy to your spirit send it to your soul, right? And your soul sends the energy through your system, and your system translates it. It'll bring up memories, and then the memory will go, it'll bring up memories, right? And then the energy will go to your, up to your spine and into your processing center here, and it will show you what it is, what the energy is pertaining to, right? And that's what they're showing me. Like, they're showing me like it's all energy, but it's just the projection, like the projection on the screen, right? How it's being projected to you, how you are remember, wow, when I spoke about projections, right? The screen, right? The projector, right? Remember when I spoke about that in a previous video? Because they're bringing this back to my awareness. Jeez. Okay, just give me a second, because I promise you I'm going somewhere. So it said, we are the projector, okay? Which is the light, right? We are the light, right? Projecting what's being projecting, right? Our DNA, history, environment, things that we remember, things that we study, things that we know, right? It is projecting, right? We are the source, right? We are the plug, the source, the electricity that allows the projector to get turned on, right? And it is just replaying what you can, the energy, how you can, how it can best explain the energy to you, okay? Jeez, it's coming in fast and I'm trying to explain it fast. Gosh damn. Right? And so we are displaying the projecting onto the screen, which is the world, right? And it says, like, yeah, so that's how they show you themselves. And it'll often feel dreamy. It'll feel, for me, it feels dreamy. It feels slow. Everything slows down. They just gave me that deeper understanding of awareness of that. That's amazing. I don't know how else to say that. That's just a beautiful analogy. Whoa. But anyway, gosh damn. I wanted to talk to you all about your inner authority, right? And so I've been receiving this download today. And I had a conversation with someone. They are Muslim. And I don't do the religious things. I don't do racial things. I don't do political things, because those are all storefronts. Like, it's not the truth of, it's not the nature of reality, right? It's the nature, meaning it's not the truth of reality, right? It's illusion, right? And so I don't do those things. And so when I speak about Muslim or Christian or Buddhism and anything like that, there is no ill intent coming from my heart space. That's why I want you all to understand when I say those things. When I say like black people or white people, it's no animosity or anything like that. I'm just trying to explain it in the physical realm so that you can understand what it looks like spiritually, okay? And so this energy was showing me about our inner authority, right? And so I have been working with my inner divine masculine. It has been like revealing itself to me. It has been revealing itself to me in dreams. It has been revealing itself to me in my day-to-day life. When I come around, like go around people, I just feel a sense of safety. I feel like I'm in my own little bubble. I don't know how else, like the one time, like, oh my God. Oh, it's gonna make me cry because it's just sending me so much love, and oh my gosh. Oh, and so I was at a store, and I was just in my own little space, minding my own little business. And I went to the back part of the store. I think I was looking for some Febreze, like the plug-in things. And I think I was in a Family Dollar. I was looking for some Febreze plug-ins. And then I hear like some commotion going on at the front, but I didn't pay it any attention because it was the Family Dollar on 79th and Yates in Chicago, and that's like you know, the area, you know, it is the energy over there is, you know, it's what it is, okay? I don't want to judge it. But anyway, and so I was in the back, and then they were complaining about the man, I guess, who came in. And so I wound up going to the freezer part to go and get me some rocket pops, bomb pops. I love those things. And so I go and get that, right? And this person, this man, he just appeared from out of nowhere. He had on all black. And I was just like, hello. And he just had this mean scowl on his face. And the next second, I felt a bubble around me. And then he said, I didn't come for your ass anyway, bitch. And I said, oh. He said, I didn't come for you no fucking way. And he was like, so I don't know what the fuck you, I don't know how the fuck they protecting you like that for. And I was just like, who in the fuck? Like, what is you talking about? But I felt his energy bounce off of me. I felt a bubble, like a force field, go around me. And I was just like, what in the world was that? I felt him like bump off of me. Our energy just, it bumped right off of me, and he was pissed. And I was just like, oh. So I go and pay for my stuff. I leave out the store, and they was like still fighting with this man. And they was like, did he do anything? He didn't do shit to me. He was actually mad that he couldn't do anything to me. And they just looked at me, and I left out the damn store and went home, because I lived around the corner from the store. I went home, and then I get back to the house. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And so I wound up dreaming that I had this, I think it was Archangel Uriel. I had this bubble around me. I don't know, but yeah. And so I'm telling you that as to confirm you in whatever you are experiencing, okay? I don't know how to say this, because they're coming through and saying, like, although they know like this physical realm can appear, and they want to talk to you all about things appearing, what they're appearing to be. They don't want you to take that too much into you, to ruin you. I'm hearing like the Psalms 91, 1,000 arrows may fall at your, what is that, at your feet, but none of them would touch you. Okay, does that make sense for someone? Okay, because that's what I'm hearing. So this is for someone who needs to hear that, okay? And so my channel is for awakening. It's never for offense. I confirm you on your spiritual journey. I don't want you to feel like you're fucking crazy or you have lost your damn mind and things like that. But I had to learn how to ground myself. I had to get me a grounded spirit animal in order to ground my energy, to ground me. I almost got hit by a car just looking up at the sky, just seeing some of the most beautifulest things, the most beautifulest colors. Just beauty, like the phenomena of nature was just responding to me. I would just see these rainbows, small rainbow patches just appear from out of the sky. I would see clouds turn into angels right in front of my face. Clouds turn into my deceased relatives right in front of my face. For a long time, I thought I was dying right before I knew I can speak to spirits. So crazy. And so I would see these really beautiful things, and it was just, I don't know how, else, just beautiful and amazing. So I want to confirm you, okay, when you're in that spirit realm. I remember going to Casadega, Florida. I took me a trip because I wanted to do some ancestral work over in what is the name of that place? St. Augustine, Florida. My Caribbean ancestors on my dad's side. And so I wanted to do some ancestor work over there. On my granddad's side, it was the maternal parent side. And so I wanted to do some ancestor work over there and like to burn some ancestor money and stuff like that. I don't know if you all know about St. Augustine, Florida, but it was like a port that they shared, and so where some of the slaves would go. But anyway, I drove to Casadega, Florida, and my aura was purple, and I didn't know. And it's like them people knew I was coming before I even thought about going there. Them people just knew. And when I got there, they were like, oh, you're the healer, you're the healer. And I was like, how the fuck did y'all know? Like, this town is real. Like, but I never knew I was the healer like I was. If you all need, look, if you ever want to confirmation, because a lot of mediums and psychics, sometimes they're not tapped in as they seems to be. And this is not to hurt anybody or to speak ill against anybody. This is just the truth, okay? Because from my experience, a lot of readers I went to told me I didn't have any spiritual gifts when I knew I did. I was just trying to, see if they can give me clues and how to bring them out more. And they were just like, oh, you don't have them, and you got to do some more shadow work and all this stuff. And I was just like, and so I later understood that they couldn't meet me as deep as I had met myself, if that makes sense, because I come from a long line of shamans. A lot of my ancestors carry the archetype of the shaman. Remember, there is no me, right? And so we just embody these archetypes so that we can be here on this physical realm, right? So that we can project, right, the type of energy that we need to have this experience, right? And so you're gonna have to go to these towns, what is it called, Sunnyvale or Sunnydale or Casadega, Florida, places that actually specialize in mediumship, because you better believe if you are a medium and you go to them type of towns, they will let you know. They can see it, right? And so they will definitely let you know. And them folks knew about me before I even knew about, and I was going to even go there. I just went there as the last minute. But they knew I was coming there. And then I wound up calling the lady, the psychologist there, but she, the doctor there, but she wasn't there when I got there. That was the main reason I went there, because I wanted to talk to a doctor. And so she wound up calling me, asking me to come back to heal her. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what do you mean? Like, heal you? Like, I don't do the type of healing work that you think I do. And it was that from there on, I understood I heal psychologically, spiritually. I heal in the spirit. I shift thought forms, mind frames, thought signatures, frequencies. Those energies is how I heal. I heal in the space, in the space of the vessel. I don't know how else to explain that. But what I'm saying is, everybody's gift is unique to you. It's unique to your trauma. And remember, your trauma is designed that way to unlock you, okay? I experienced a lot of psychological trauma. I experienced a lot of bullying. I experienced a lot of physical pain. I got hit by a car when I was 13. I was 12 when I got hit by a car. I had 13 surgeries. The last surgery, I died. I had to have a blood transfusion because the doctor cut the artery in my leg. Um, my mom passed when I was 14. I got shot in the head. Still got the pellets in the head with a shotgun. Still got the pellets in my head. Being some space I shouldn't have been, right? That happened. Damn near kidnapped, raped, drugged. That happened. I didn't get raped, but I was kidnapped and drugged. And somehow I saw how to get free, and I got free from that situation. And my son, 2 children, one of them was murdered. The other one had like a severe car crash to where everything was broken from his hips down to his damn toes, both legs. And so I experienced a lot of trauma. And so I can heal trauma, psychological trauma. I can help people get over that type of stuff. So everybody, your gift is unique in that way. If you're someone that's experienced and physical abuse, my stepdaddy, I don't even want to talk about that. I'll heal from that, and I'll forgive him, and I just really will just leave that in the past, because I'm in a good space, and I know my vibrational frequency too. But I'm just saying this to try to say, like, your gifts is unique to your training. And when I mean by training, the university of life, right? Life is a university. It's a whole fucking school out here. And when you can look at your training, right? Life as a training session, right? You're able to cultivate. It's about your awareness shift, a perspective shift. Okay, and so you're gonna have to listen to a lot of like quantum physics, do a lot of gnosis work, like no self work. I don't know how else to say that. A lot of meditation so that you can delve deeper into those aspects of you so you can relax. But are you done? Talking to this, whoever's here giving me this message. Okay, and so what I was talking about, like the inner authority, okay, that was something that I was working through. The energy that I'm working through today, it feels like the inner authority. It's just been there. And I said, it kept just trying to make me stay in the past, whatever this energy was that kept trying to bring up stuff from the past that I know that I healed from. And it was like, it kept trying to bind me to something. And I was just like, what the fuck is this? It kind of felt low-key like a dark night of the soul, but not really. And so it came through because my dream showed me, in my dream it showed me that I was going to overcome something. And as the day went past, this part of my dream has not happened yet. And let me tell y'all, what time is it? It's 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was waiting on that part of my dream to happen. Not waiting on it, but I just couldn't go to sleep because something needed to shift. It's like my body wouldn't let me rest. I laid in the bed, took a nice hot bath, put my pajamas on. Fresh, clean pajamas smell like, what's that game? What is it called? Pretty scent, some type of game, pretty scent. Smells really good. And so I got fresh blanket, fresh sheets. I done cooked early because this is Sunday. I like to cook early and get the food over with. My son get off work at 12. He made it home. I was just trying to sleep, and it was just like, nope, I just couldn't. And so I understood that, wait a minute, the last part of my dream has not happened yet. And I have been this inner narrative that has been trying to keep me held on to something that I've already overcome. Now, this energy showed up when I had went to a church one day. I had a dream to go to this church. I don't know why. The spirit always be sending me to places, but I had to go there. And so I had went there. In my dream, I saw myself sitting in the left row. Wait a minute. In my dream, I I saw myself sitting on the left row in the front, like right behind, right behind the first row. And there was a man in front of me. And I saw on the wall was a purple wall, and the word was Elohim. And so I was just like, woke up the next morning like, dang, Spirit, like, please don't send me to the church. I don't want to go to the church. Please don't send me to the church. And so as a week went by, it's usually 7 days. And so I was like, okay, I guess whenever I go to this church, and I was like, well, what church I'm going to go to anyway? And they showed me the lady who goes to this church. And I said, I don't want to go. I went anyway. No shit. I get in that church. I've never been in this church before. It's exactly the word Elohim, and it is a man sitting right there in front. That services started at 11 o'clock, but they had like prayer worshiping going on. Precognition is my energy. They had prayer worshiping going on. And so I was just like sitting there, and I was just, closing my eyes, and I was just, praying and stuff like that. And then as I'm sitting there, like with my head down, my eyes closed, praying, I feel something like accessing my memories, accessing me. And I said, what the fuck is this? And internally, just in that same space, I started speaking in tongue internally. And I said, what the fuck is going on inside of me? This is what I'm thinking. Why this tongue speaking is happening within me. I said, what the fuck is this? What's going on in me? Like, oh my God, I don't know how to do this. Why is this happening to me? And then the man looked at me, he looked back at me, and he nodded his head like that. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, was this man just trying to access me? Like, what the fuck is he doing? And he get up on the stage. I didn't even know he was a preacher, and he started preaching. And then he was like, he wanted to do something different. He wanted to meet people first. That's what he said. And he wound up asking me to stand up. He wanted to know who I am, where I was coming from, stuff like that. And I was just like, I just moved here from Chicago. Like, I ain't looking for y'all mans. I ain't looking for no church home. I had a dream about coming here and sitting right here. I think the Holy Spirit has a word for me. That's exactly what I told him. I said, I am here on a healing journey, and I'm being obedient. And he was like, all right, sister. Told him my name and stuff like that. And he gets to preaching, and when I say like him 3 minutes into the preaching, he said, oh, Sister Holyfield, the Holy Spirit told me to tell you, you're gonna be fast-tracked. I said, I know. Like, I know. I just came, this is confirmation to me. I told him just like that, like, I know, because I believe the Most High wanted me to know. Look at this divine presence. Wow. I said, I believe the Most High wanted me to know that the same Holy Spirit y'all speak to is the same Holy Spirit I speak to. But the divine wanted me to know that because people kept projecting on me that I was speaking to monsters and demons and shit like that, right? And so the Most High wanted me to know, Holy Spirit wanted me to know who I was speaking to when I speak to that energy, okay? And so today I spoke with a person. She's a Muslim girl. And when I say the Most High will keep you, the Most High will keep you, okay? Because prosperity at the bottom of the deck, the Most High had me, we talking, and I can hear the projection in her tone. It was like I had stepped out of my body to be aware of the conversation. I can hear her projections. I can hear her raving and jumped up on the cabinets. I can hear her. And it sounded so distant. And it was like everything was in slow motion while I was observing. It's like I was outside of the conversation observing her to where I can tell her you're projecting. She was projecting on someone else. And she was like, no, I'm just, trying to make sure, I check up on people. I said, but you're checking up on people with the energy of worry. And I said, you pray 5 times a day. How about you pray in faith, knowing that the Most High is going to take care of whoever is going through something horrendous, or so you're projecting them to be, right? And so she was just like, Well, tried to explain herself. And then she said, and plus, you know, when we pass away, I just want to be, when it's time for me to go to heaven or hell, I want to be the one that's going to heaven because I did right by people. I said, you want to check on people because you feel like that's the reason, like that's going to prevent you from going to hell. I said, that sounds real selfish. Because you should want to check on people because of divine love, because of agape love, because of the divine is within you, and the divine is with everyone. You shouldn't just want to check up on people because that's going to assure you a one-way ticket to heaven. And she got quiet, and she tried to explain, and I said, I gotta go. I cut her off right there. Like, my guys was like, get out of there. And I gotta go. And I hung up the phone. And then I can feel her internal projections. I can feel that. And the energy that she had was, she's right and I'm wrong because of her religious structure, right? Everything, if someone doesn't follow her laws and her rules of her book, they're wrong, right? It's that it was that energy, and I was hearing this internal within me, and I was like, where the fuck is this coming from? And you know what fucking Mercury retrograding. Look, sensitivity and strength, tap into the forces within. You know what, Mercury retrograding, that energy needs to come up so that I can face this and get it over with once and for all, right? So that I can establish my own inner authority, right? And so she was like, I got the phone with her, and so I can feel this struggle with what she had going on internally with her. I can feel that struggle. And I was just like, damn, like, I kept trying to release it from me, but it wouldn't go. And so I understood that that's something that I could be struggling with. And it happens a lot when I be trying to figure out what if I'm going to put the video up. In my decisions, it messes with my intuition when I get around people who don't have no authority within themselves. I can pick up on that energy. And so this divine masculine within me is trying to help me maintain structures, right? And so the energy, it brought to my awareness as a child, right? You, right? The you that was raised to obey outside authority, right? I'm sorry it took so long to get to this, but that's what the Most High wanted to have the structure to be, okay? Don't know why, you'll know if it's for you. But it's the divine, like that version of you that was raised to obey outside authority, right? And I said, whoa, holy shit. Oh, my legs just got the chills in it. And so that's when I came out here and recorded a video. It's the you that was raised to obey outside authority. And it's just like your inner sovereignty, especially when you're doing good by yourself and by others, right? When you know you're doing good by yourself and others, right? It's that energy, right? To where you're not second guessing yourself about the path that you choose, the decisions that you make, right? I knew it was going to pop back out. And so it's that energy. Look at the mindfulness, peaceful, presence, quiet mind, right? It's that energy, right? So that your mind is not confused. Who do I listen to? Do I listen to this old programming, or do I listen to what this new version of you is saying? Because it wasn't on one accord. 444 could be significant, okay? Divine presence equals freedom, and you know that to be true, right? And so it's that type of energy. And so I was like, whoa, like that made so much sense. And I don't know why I couldn't put my finger on it, because I'm too damn close to it, right? And that's when we like to call other mediums or psychics to get their information. To get their input. And it'd be the worst thing when you spend money on a medium or a psychic and they tell you some fucking bullshit. 44 on a timer. And this has no offense against none of those mediums and psychics. It's just, to me, they never knew themselves, so they could never know you. Okay, this is the message that's coming through. Okay, people who you grew up with, the authority figures, they never knew themselves, so they could never know what you carried inside of you. And even when at that church setting, when they wanted me to come to the back and talk to them, it was the weirdest shit. Like, why the fuck would I want to come back here and talk to y'all? But I did anyway. And then the pastor asked me a question. Wow, that's my sacred purpose. Okay, yes, I am. Period. He asked me, and then he said, so what did you mean when you said you knew? I said, because I dreamt this. And then I asked him, I said, what is that, what you pick up on when you deliver that message to me, right? And I was going there for confirmation, but the way he picked up on his intuition, that was something that I needed to cultivate within me. Now, he was just like, oh, it's an intuition. And I said, yeah, I get the same thing. It's just sometimes I just be second guessing it. And then he just got quiet. And then he said, so, what did he say? I was telling him about my journey and about what happened to me. And he got fidgety. He got nervous. Hands started shaking. I later on found out that he saw the prophet in me. I don't consider myself that. That's a bold fucking title to me. And so I found out that he saw the prophet in me, and what he was doing to people, keeping them bound to their flaws, keeping them bound to their illusion. That's what he was doing to people, to get people to worship him and come to his services, right? That's what he was doing. And so I came there, I guess, to tell him, you say Jesus said because of him they are free. Then why you keep binding people to their quote unquote what they call sins, right? It's that type of energy, right? That man he would not sit down. He was just fidgety. The wife was just looking at me and just hands just going. And I guess they thought I was going to, like, blast him or something. I don't know what they was expecting. But I ain't saying nothing. I ain't been back to that church since, because I had no intention of going to that church in the first place. But Spirit always be putting me in churches. And this was something really crazy when I grew up. I grew up in church. And as I started getting older, I tried to stay in the church because I always felt that divine presence. But I was associating divine presence with the church space, right? Two completely different presence, right? And so I later understood why I felt always like I didn't belong in the church, or I would be attacked in the church. It will always be a deacon or a pastor making sermons about me because I wear lipstick. I had a husband with me and my kids. These people don't even fucking know me from Adam, and they just constructing their service around me because I had on lipstick, or just saying all types of shit, coming at me. Very flirtatious energy just kept me out of the church. And so I later found out I wasn't supposed to be raised by wolves. I wasn't supposed to be raised in the false. It was spirit that was supposed to teach me. And I'm saying this to say, I'm confirming you all. The Most High is confirming you, because you're not supposed to be raised by wolves, okay? Even with most psychic and mediums, they can't confirm you because they can't confirm themselves, okay? They can't meet you as deeply as you have met yourself, or as deeply as you desire to meet yourself. They cannot meet you like that. And if you often find that you go up in different places and it doesn't resonate with your energy, it's because you're not supposed to be there. You're hurting yourself by looking for outside validation on something that you can only gain internally. Come through, Spirit. That's what they was trying to say. you can only gain it through you standing in your authority, right? You not second guessing what is happening to you, and you praying about what's happening to you, asking your angels, ancestors, and guides for deeper states of awareness, right? For deeper states of understanding, okay? And leaning not on your own limited understanding, right? What persona taught you how to understand, right? Is that type of energy, right? When you can understand how to tear down strongholds, right? What persona taught you how to understand? The persona, okay, the version of you that was raised to obey outside authority, right? The version of you that was taught understanding, right? You get to ask those deeper questions. You get to go deep, and you get to find the right answers, cultivate the right answers to gain the right questions, right? To cultivate the right questions to gain the right answers, and it will give you deeper states of awareness, right? So we have attachment, longing, desperation, confusion. I cannot make this shit up, okay? Spirit, the Most High Divine, is aware of that. And I'm telling you this right now. This energy is coming through loud and clear, okay? My battery from my dad. This energy is coming through right now loud and clear. They are they are aware that you desire to know what is happening to you, okay? Longing, desperation. But the way you're going about it in this physical realm, it is not going to get you far at all, okay? And then we have confusion here. It is going to keep you in confusion. And you know the Most High is not the author of confusion, okay? And when I use these different, like, words, they are just words to explain the energy, okay, that I'm receiving right now. These are very authoritative words, and I don't know my vocabulary, okay? I was raised in the south side of Chicago, Inglewood, and so the school system that I was raised up in, that's not an excuse, right? I can often take classes and things like that, but this should suffice to what I'm saying, okay? Because the Holy Spirit had me in that damn Bible, okay? The Holy Spirit had me in the Bible. It just had me in the Bible, but I understood it psychologically. I understood a lot of religious texts psychologically. The Nag Hammadi, okay? The Kabbalion, okay? The Torah, the Upanishad. I think that's how you call it. All of those biblical things I understand psychologically. It's just something that happened to me, something unlocked in me so that I can understand stuff psychologically. It's just something that happened. And so we have freedom, moving on, letting go, okay, balance, centered self-care, right? And this is when you find the right answers, when you answer the right questions. And remember when I said, like, I didn't understand, like, why the Most High was sending me to this space. And it was to literally show me, like, hey, you got the same thing but what you do is integral. And there is no comparison, but there is a comparison when it comes to you, because you are an ambassador of the Most High. It's what the Most High is trying to say, okay? And then I was talking about elementals, and I was talking about the gnomes, okay, and the fairies, okay? And look, they all just showed up in the energy just to prove what I was saying, okay? And this is divine presence. It's all a part of the divine, right? I was talking to y'all about this, and look, yeah, it just came here. You know how it works. Wow. Yeah, it's crazy. And I was talking about the little orbs that I was seeing, and look at the little orbs in there. I was talking about the orbs, so, I'm on point. But, my nose started to itch now. But I hope what the message that came through was able to help, okay? Look at oh my God. It told me to flip the deck. Brilliant beliefs, divine masculine. infinite mind, awakened consciousness. Whoa, life force communication. And I was talking, look, the angels, angelic assistance. Oh my God, I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for this transmission. Oh my God, I cannot make this up. This is just an amazing energy. But oftentimes when I channel angels and higher beings and stuff like that, the energy is real high. So you may find me or you, okay? It's not about me, it's about you. Let me tell you, I am a reflection of you. I come here to confirm you, okay? And when you are seemingly not on the right track, Spirit will often have me come on here and put up videos just to, you know, adjust your crown, because sometimes we can forget that we the shit. Wow. And so Spirit will have me come on here to help adjust your crown, because sometimes, you know, life get to life and life be life, and we can't forget that we the bomb, right? My crown chakras, we can forget, right? And so when I do those readings, it is to help you stay on track so that you're not messing, or not messing, but not delaying your energetic alignment, okay? That's when I come on here and when I do these readings, okay? You're not stagnant, which you'll never be. You're always going to get there, right? But you don't want that innerness, like that regret, you know, that conscious, that, you know, that Jiminy Cricket energy, right? It'll come up and it'll start fucking with you, right? And so it's like, Spirit, it's like, no, you're not on that time. Wow. Look at the truth and time. Okay, wow. It's time that you knew the truth, right? It is this energy, right? It's that energy. So it's like, you need to know that, because you guys are very protected from whatever karmic path is out here, right? It is that energy, like they come in and they want to have the courage to release whatever you need to fucking release that shit from you, okay? Because there's some abundance coming in for you all. I was talking about the damn leprechaun. Okay, I don't know if death want to come back out. This is a rebirth that you all are going through. So when I come on here and put these little messages out, water, y'all could be water signs. I cannot make this up. New life and the shift. Water, going with the flow, because like I said, sometimes we can get off, you know, go steer a little bit to the right. I don't know, sometimes we can, you know, our path is very narrow, right? We walk a narrow path. Not everybody can walk this path, right? And it's easy to go off in either direction, right? And so it's easy to lose focus. And so Spirit wants you to maintain your focus, right? Like, do things that make you happy is what they're saying. Don't go searching for anything outside of you, because it's not. Don't go searching for anything outside of you, because it's not outside of you, it's in you, okay? The path to your happiness is inward. The path home is inward, right? Whatever way you use it, right? Whatever, whomever, buy whatever. Any ascended master that talks about universal consciousness, universal love, is a path that you can take. All paths lead home, right? Even Muslim people, Christian religions people, right? Catholic people, they all are governed by a individual entity. Government systems, it has an individual entity. Everything has an individual energy attached to it, right? But it keeps them limited. It keeps them inside of a box. It keeps them in shame, in guilt, in fear, in lack, in judgment, right? In disbelief, in regret, right? It keeps them in that space. And that's the space that you are climbing out of, right? You're climbing out of the dungeon, right? You're no longer staying in the dungeon. You're climbing outside of your mind, outside of your box, right? The box that they fucking put you in, okay? And even the box that you put yourself in because you asked for this shit. And the box that the Most High put you in because the Most High said, you know what? I got a job for you. And you said, okay. I got people down there that need the elevation, that need the help. Let me go help my brothers and sisters out, right? Either way you go, you can't run from the truth. It's just what it is, right? And we speak nothing but the truth on this channel, clearly, because the card came out. Anyway, let me get my goofy ass to go. Now I can go to bed. It's 4:25 in the morning. Yeah. And so I love you all so much. I hope the messages kind of resonate. I hope I could help adjust your crown some, okay? And I have an Etsy store. If you need me, please reach out to me. My email is in the description box. Namaste.